Hi, it's Charlie Pattinson back again with the Johnston girls basketball preview.
Hi, I'm Cameron DeRusse. I'm the photo editor.
I'm Joel Keller. I'm the sports editor.
And today we're going to preview Johnston's matchup in the state semifinals against Iowa City High.
But first, we will do a recap of Johnston's game against Southeast Polk on Monday. The girls basketball team was leading in the first quarter, but due to sloppy turnovers and overall okayish ball handling, Southeast Polk was able to get back and actually take the lead in the second quarter and hold on to it in the third. Going into the fourth quarter, it was a very heated atmosphere in the room. Students were standing up. It was crazy. And it was a 4-score game for a lot of the fourth quarter, but then I think it was around 3 minutes. Maya McDermott goes down, hits a three. They go back down to Southeast Polk's basket. They miss mid 2-pointer, and then Anna Gosling gets the ball, 3-point line, sends it. So Johnston gets the lead. We then just kept on building on that lead, and by the end of the game, it was 75-71 Johnston.
Another thing about that game was Southeast Polk was able to get Maddie Mock, who's the biggest player on Johnston's team height-wise, in foul trouble. So then when Southeast Polk attacked the rim, Maddie would just have to stand to the side and not foul because she would have fouled out, and we needed her down low to get rebounds, and she didn't end up fouling out.
One big thing was Southeast Polk really shut down the perimeter shots for Johnston in the second half, and that helped them keep the lead for the most part until they lost it at the end. What really helped for Johnston was that Maya kind of took control in the fourth quarter, and she started driving in, which she showed it was really hard for teams to stop. So,
yeah, Maya scored 30 points. I think she had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 steals. So, she really put on a dominant performance and kind of carried Johnston because without her, Southeast Polk would have taken it easily. And it just took a lot of Maya willing her way to the basket and just getting easy buckets because she could basically split any defense and outsprint anyone. So it was really the Maya McDermott game.
Moving on to the Iowa City High preview game. Iowa City High is a really good defensive team. You see that they're, high on their steals, and they're pretty low on their turnovers also, and it's pretty impressive. Looking at the stats, Iowa City High's got about 140 more steals this season than Johnston, and they don't turn the ball over as much. They have 90 less turnovers. So I think a ball security and taking the pace slow for Johnston will be a big factor, especially with the way that they kind of turned it over a lot in the Southeast Polk game.
Yeah, they really need to slow down the tempo for this game because in that first game against Southeast Polk, they sped it up, and it looked like they kind of got out of control, and they made a whole bunch of bad passes in transition, trying to do too much with what they had. And that really affected the game because they couldn't get much done offensively in the second and third quarter. Well, they were still good on defense, but you're gonna be losing if you can't score anything on offense because of the amount of turnovers. So as long as they can keep the ball moving around at a nice, clean style, I think they can pull out the win.
Yeah, we watched the Iowa City High versus Prairie game on YouTube, and first thing that jumped out was Iowa City High's intensity on defense and their great full court press. From the get-go, they were full court pressing Prairie, and that was wrecking havoc on them at the beginning because Iowa City High went up 12-0, and eventually they won the game in a blowout. But Iowa City High just got a lot of steals and was pretty efficient on offense with a balanced attack. They shot a good amount of threes, and they also got to the hoop a good amount. So it's not going to be an easy task for Johnston. Looking at Iowa City High's basketball history, the girls won the state championship in 2008 against Cedar Rapids, Washington. They lost in the title game against the crosstown rivals Iowa City West in 2018. Last year, City High was the 5 seed, and they lost to West Des Moines Valley in overtime. And Valley was a team that went on to win the state title. Rose Nkumu, sorry if I butchered the name, is Iowa City High's star player. She's a 3-star on ESPN and a Marquette commit. ESPN ranks her as a 30th best point guard in the country. And so that'll be an really interesting battle between her and Maya at the point guard position, because Maya is also a Division I commit to Northern Iowa. And on Johnston, the other college basketball commits are Kendall Need, who's committed to Milwaukee, and Maddie Mock, who's committed to Western Illinois.
Talking about a specific matchup, Rose Nkumu is the star point guard for Iowa City High, and Maya McDermott is the star point guard for Johnston. Nkumu and McDermott have differing play styles. McDermott's more of a slash and pass or score point guard, while Nkumu's more of a pass first defense point guard. Nkumu had about 20 more assists, but she also had around 50 more steals this year, and that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, what we can see from Iowa City High is that they're really intense on defense. They get a lot of steals. They're really active in the passing lanes, and that's honestly of concern for Johnston, because versus Southeast Polk, they weren't even really playing that intensive defense, and it was just sloppy with the ball. It was careless turnovers. Obviously, they won the game. They played well. They tightened it up in the fourth quarter. But if you get it down huge, and it's going to be tough to keep coming back game after game. So I'd like to see Johnston keep the ball tight, make nice passes, and that's really going to be a key to the game.
I think X factor for this game is going to be Anna Gosling. She came up very clutch in that game on Monday, and I think they're going to need her to show up again, especially shooting the perimeter shots, because if Maya gets cold like she did, and the rest of the offense, really, if they get cold, they're going to need Anna to bring them out with some big threes, just like on Monday.
For me, I mean, obviously this is McDermott's team. They're going to go as far as she can take them, and then she needs to carry the team, obviously with scoring and with that mentality that they can win it all. But for my X factor, I'm looking at Maddie Mock this game, because she's really a great defensive player down on the low block, and when she got in foul trouble, Southeast Polk started scoring at will when Maddie wouldn't go up and contest, because otherwise she would have fouled out. And also when Johnston brought in backups, they were just getting destroyed down on the block. So what I'd like to see is defense in the low post out of Maddie Mock, and she also had a great game rebounding and quite a few assists as well.
My X factor for this game is going to be Kendall Need. Maya McDermott's got a tough matchup against a really good defensive player. That means they're going to have to go to somebody else for a lot of the scoring. Kendall Need had a 22-point game on Monday. It's the logical choice to choose Need as the person who can take over scoring if McDermott's getting locked down or she's got to pass the ball more than usual. I just think that at the end of the day, she'll be able to get it done.
All right, moving on to predictions for the game. I think that it'll be a super tight battle and probably will be the toughest test Johnston's faced all year, and I mean, deservedly, they're in the Final Four at state. So I think Johnston will pull it out. Got to cheer on the hometown Dragons. I think they'll win like 75-70, a high-scoring game, because that's what Johnston does.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think it's going to be slightly closer. I think it's going to be mostly Iowa City the entire game until, again, late in the fourth quarter. And I think Johnston's going to pull it out 70-68.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Johnston with the win also. Johnston's student section's going to be there. I mean, they're much closer than Iowa City's student section. There's going to be a lot of Johnston fans there. And Iowa City's going to feel alienated and like they're not at a neutral ground. Johnston can win this game for sure. They've only lost twice against two really good teams. And when Johnston played Waukee, they won. And when Iowa City played Waukee, they lost. I just think that that's an interesting thing to think about. Johnston hasn't played that many teams that Iowa City High has played, so it's hard to tell the difference. But I just think that Johnston's got it.
And there you have it, folks. We all think Johnston's going to win. Welcome to the Black and White, your completely unbiased Johnston sports news. That'll wrap it up for today. Go to the jhsblackandwhite.com for more content from us at the newspaper staff and all sorts of stuff going on in our school and throughout our community.